Hello everyone, this is Jasmine, aka Gladiatorinsweats, and I'm here with a daily tarot and wave spell message for today, Tuesday, September 18th, 2018. So, happy Tuesday to everyone. I hope that this reaches y'all well, that everyone's been starting off their week all right. And yeah, I know that the energy has been not just intense and it's like at this point it's just repetitive and yeah, just repetitive to be like, oh, there's shifts going on and this like everything is just in this continual process of change and of synchronization right now. And so I don't even want to frame things as, oh, there's this wave or anything coming in. It's just this time, even as I was talking about this green castle enchantment that we came into maybe a week or so ago, like this energy moving even into October, especially into October, is everything just being like synchronized, everything coming up to the surface, things getting cleared out, things getting rearranged, things getting tested and tried to see if this is gonna work for us. Is this gonna last? Is this in balance? Is this in harmony for us? Like, we're really not just like resetting the script, but again, it's like there's this factory reset. And I feel like this is happening with this Aries full moon that's coming up, which again, of course, I'll talk about that a little bit later or a little bit further along the week. But we do have Mars in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus beginning today. And this is actually the third time it's done so this year. And I actually wanted to even mention that a little bit because just in my research, it normally squares maybe once, maybe twice a year. And that's like tops, really. Or at least just in this most previous and the most recent, like 10 years. And so this year, again, like I mentioned, it has had this kind of interaction and aspecting energy three times this year. And this, all began as we started this summer solstice as well as these solar eclipse season. Well, pretty much just as soon as we were just beginning retrograde season in general, because this was beginning in May. And so, yeah, all of this to say, as I had been mentioning before, like all of this is not coincidental. This has definitely been working, not necessarily just in our favor, but this is as above, so below. Everything has been aligning in this way so that we're able to do like this really, really deep clean within our psyche, within our mind. This is, no, again, when we talk even about ascension or whatever it is that we mean, we're even referring to ascension, in expanding our consciousness, this isn't something that happens. I mean, it can happen in this intellectual way, but this isn't about logic. I mean, this isn't about, oh, like, okay, so this is like the logical way of things working, and so that's what makes sense. I mean, it kind of is a little bit like that because when I think about just the harmony of masculine and feminine, I feel like that maybe there's a little bit of that. But what I'm really feeling here is the synchronistic order as we've been in these very deep clearing so that we can align, so that we can fully align in aligning ourselves with the earth as she's transforming, so are we, as we're aligning with our own true nature, with like our soul, our higher self, our multidimensionality, as far as just expanding who we are in that sense, but even just stepping into our full truth. This Mars in Aquarius, square with Uranus is a very like, it's like that restless energy of wanting to create some sort of change, but you want it to still be genuine to you. You still want it to be authentic to you. And so really I feel it's like this sort of lightning bolt energy and aspect. And I even kind of felt that when I was looking at the card for today, before I even was looking into like any planetary aspects that was going on today. And the first thing that caught my eye looking at the card was the lightning, and I hit the Stonehenge for a few different reasons. Also because of something that I was realizing, or something that was being revealed to me about the Stonehenge. And so yeah, I've seen this like, oh, there's this lightning bolt energy of like activating our ancient selves, activating like all that we are. And like, even the way I'm seeing it in my mind is like I forget what they call it. It's not like a reclaiming of yourself, but it's when you're, oh, soul retrieval. That's even kind of what I felt here is like these, not just these galactic portal dates, but these waves that are coming in, these surges of energy that are further bringing things to the surface so we're able to clear it and move forward. That's definitely what I'm feeling here. And just even moving into like the energy of today of like, what are the challenges? As yesterday we were talking about what is the goal, and today's like, what are the challenges in this? And so the challenges, as I was talking about yesterday, the goal about aligning with our divine will, the challenges is remaining in that alignment and staying true to that alignment. And it's not that I even believe you can fall back out of the alignment, but it's really, again, remaining in that alignment, remaining within our natural divinity, stepping into the full light of who we are. This card acknowledges the yin and yang at the bottom. And so this is again acknowledging the yin and yang, a dynamic within us all, within our environments, within our experience. And this is even what I was talking about. All of this is stuff I've just been talking about. So I'm just, I guess, further going in depth about it with us being in our integrity, remaining in our power by always being transparent in who we are and why we're doing our things. People don't get to hold control over you when you're transparent in who you are. You're not needing to hide any part of yourself because of wanting to be accepted or wanting to fit in or just wanting to appear a certain way, where especially myself, I can speak for myself, really learning to say no and stand by it and acknowledge it and not necessarily just like getting mad, but it's like I recognize, especially like if I don't say no and I go ahead and I say yes, or I just kind of go along with something, my body starts letting me know you knew you didn't want to do that. And I'll start to feel that anger boiling up, and I feel this is something many of us experience, and something that we will unconsciously do is we'll quickly project it on someone else, or we can be like, well, such and such could have did this to help, or such, like, without really coming back to ourselves and looking at what it is that we can do to be more real with ourselves and to acknowledge what we consider to be our quote unquote mistakes and just always moving forward. I feel even this card is talking about a factory reset to our original like blueprint. The way that I even seen like this chart, or I guess the involvement of the zodiac signs in the card, made me think about like our natal charts. It made me think about the blueprints that we come into this world with. And so again, like, I really can't stress enough how this is all about us being authentic in ourselves and standing in our truth, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular or any of those things. And especially in terms of our relationships, because that's just what is coming to my personal mind. And especially as I was talking about this Libran energy yesterday, and recognizing the balance between self and between others and that harmony there. And we're able to really change the way we experience things, but also the way that other people experience us and the way that people respond to us. And all of that, like all of this happens through us. And this is something that I've not only just realized, but I've been not wanting to, but integrating into my own life. And that's ultimately what I talk about here, is like recognizing that everything is us. Everything is us. Everything we see, touch, feel, like, dislike, enjoy, fear is a part of us. And so even when we're like coming into like these shifts of like transparency, the point I don't want to get lost is that everything is still part of us. So even as we're like, oh, in this process of even maybe reviewing the things or the people or places that we want to continue to keep it around in our lives, as we are, releasing things, or as we are deciding that things aren't for us, I just want to end this with doing things with a love. This isn't about a resentment or an air of feeling superior than anything. This card, with both these cards of with the Fool of Divine Will and like the Son of Divine Self, this is again us being ourself. And part of us wanting to have a world or environment that accepts us as we are, that means taking our accountability for our energy that we put into it, as far as accepting other people for who they are as well. And so yeah, there's a lot, I feel, within just these cards, within the energy. These energies and these questions that I am posing are not like strictly set within these days or anything like that. But yeah, that's definitely, I feel, what we're the space we're in, even just in this inquisitive mind state of wondering the possibilities. I think Leonardo da Vinci was talking about this a little bit in a channeling that he did. Actually, I will go ahead and link that in the description box, because it was a wonderful channeling, and just a wonderful time to really hear his thoughts and to resonate with his thoughts. And I even feel like it just, a lot of the stuff that I've been coming into, or just even the things that I've been tuning into, just highly resonate with like the energies that we're experiencing, and even the concepts that we're playing with and experimenting with it within our own lives in the context of our own experiences. So I'll go ahead and link that there. But basically, the whole point is this the I forget what he called it. I don't believe it was the law of curiosity. I can't remember. But it's really understanding how curiosity is like this gateway into seeing and expanding what it is that we see or understand about what it is that we're wanting to understand more about. If that doesn't seem too confusing. So if we try and just take an example of, we'll take something even negative, something supposedly negative, because again, even today's energy is about these challenges and how the challenges create these areas of polarization. They create opportunities for you to be able to experience the polarity, experience the complementary fashion, how the shadow does not exist without the truth, and the truth does not exist until we bring awareness to it, until there's light. And so all of this, again, being brought to us, seeing things in a different way, but allowing ourselves to see things in a different way. So back to the example, as I want to say. So just anytime something happens unfortunate or something that we did not want to happen, I guess, in our life. And I'll just take something more trivial, like a flat tire or something. And you're having to change a flat tire or something wrong with your car. And so, for example, for me, the past couple months, we had so much car trouble. It was ridiculous. Every 2 weeks, we were replacing a flat tire. And it was just like, it was so frustrating. It was so angering. It was so like, it wasn't even about the changing of the tire. It was this ultimate notion of feeling like every time I took a step forward, I was taking a step back. Every time I was trying to, move, I was actually feeling stagnant. I was making moves, but the moves weren't actually taking me anywhere. And so, in this way, I feel like this is a moment of, for me, a moment of curiosity to think maybe I can do something different, or maybe this is leading me to think of something different. And so, I guess in a most basic way, instead of just trying to replace or trying to stick band-aids on something, we pushed it for getting a new car. We wanted, not just wanted, but we worked and the pieces fell into place so that we could get a new car, or at least new to us. And so, even in that way, that can remain just very much just as it is on its face value of like the common sense idea, I guess, in that frame is like, well, obviously, if your car keeps breaking down, then you just get a new one. And maybe that seems obvious, but this is something I even feel is something that we can incorporate into our own life, and we can see the parallels within our own experiences of there's certain things that we're experiencing over and over and over. There's certain frustrations, and there's certain like sadnesses, and there's certain experiences and feelings, or certain things that are like happening for us all the time, over and over and over and over. And maybe we are even seeing that, but I feel for a lot of us the part is like knowing how to break the loop, recognizing like how, recognizing like there's just a lot of like, even recognizing that you're in the loop is honestly like one of the biggest parts. And this is how I was even mentioning yesterday, even about breaking this fourth wall. Like that's what all of this is, as we're breaking out of the hamster's wheel, honestly, of just like running in the same direction over and over and over and over, and then not even really considering to look at it in a different way, considering to try things in a different mode, all of that. And so, yeah, the same way that the tires for me was showing me not just something with my car, but also showing within me how I was spinning my wheels. I was just kind of doing the same things over and over and over. I wasn't trying to see like, where can I do something different? Where can I expand and experience something new, or perceive something new, or even just see something in a new light? And so, yeah, I guess this feels maybe just like another level to yesterday's card, or yesterday's energy. But yeah, like I just feel as Uranus is Uranus in Taurus is just hanging out at the Aries point. Like we're just, again, coming back to factory reset. That's really what I'm feeling here. And that means everything's got to come to the surface. That means everything's got to be there in the open so that we're able to integrate it, so that we're able to move forward. We're able to close a cycle and move into a new one, or even not necessarily even a new one, but even break into maybe a whole new form of cycle. Yeah, there's just a lot of ways in which I see this, because again, there's this infinite feeling, there's this infinity aspect to this portal that we're in. So yeah, let me just go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for tuning in and just for listening. I am appreciative for, y'all supporting and subscribing and commenting and all that beautiful stuff. So, as always, just thank you. And I hope that this brought some sort of insight and clarity as it did for me. So, yeah, without further ado, then go ahead and check out the description box below, especially for a link to that Leonardo da Vinci channeling, as well as links to, like, my site, or to my Instagram page where to communicate or to see my more frequent updates, and yeah, just that good stuff. Otherwise, yeah, I really hope you guys have a wonderful day. This energy has just been so, not just illuminating, but I've just been receiving like sudden clarity and not even trying. And I feel like, again, that's something I even want to urge people to. It's not even about trying. Really allowing yourself to be, coming to who you are. What would you do if you really didn't have people and things and all of this stuff trying to tell you what you had to do and the way you had to do it and all of that stuff. And this doesn't mean like this needs to be like The Purge, Anarchy, the movie, where like everyone's just out here like free for all, not caring about anyone else or any of that. But again, about when we're just even in our most authentic self. Even if I'm just laying here and decided I was just gonna eat a sandwich, that sandwich was in my purpose to eat. Like, recognizing that everything's not about like so all of these far out experiences, and which is cool, but like finding the magic in the mundane. And this is something I've been not just experimenting with, but talking about and really involving in my own life. But this is what I'm feeling for the collective. The collective is acknowledging the the inherent characteristic of our reality, of it being magical inherently, of everything being magic. Everything, when you think about the concept of creating seemingly something out of seemingly nothing, all of this is the process of what we do every day, day in and day out, in the most quote unquote mundane ways, where even as I'm bringing in oxygen into my body, and then I'm able to expel air and able to speak, so that you're able to hear what it is that I'm thinking, where I'm transforming, I'm creating a vocalized media from the thoughts that I perceive and the thoughts that I am receiving or picking up on. Like, everything is ultimately magic, in my opinion. I'm, not going to say that's the end all be all or whatever, but that's my truth, is that everything is ultimately of magic. And so acknowledging that aspect, not even just aspect, but inherent quality of this reality and experience, I feel just opens the doors, and it really frees a lot of the shackles and boxes that we put ourselves and we put magic into and we put spirituality into, and like just all the boxes we put these things are just so a part of us and a part of this experience, that it's like compartmentalizing is like, that's really what's been going on. I feel is like we've been in this process of really being like, all right, so oh, this is me, my real self, and then this is who I am when I'm not like at work, or this is who I am when I'm not around my friends, and this is who I am when, like, there's all these different like mirrors, these different personas and different like parts of ourselves that we create. And again, I feel like there's this connection, like soul retrieval, mind retrieval kind of thing here, where we're really just coming back to who we are, and for good, bad, and indifferent. That's what I just tend to say. Like, this isn't necessarily about it being a quote unquote good thing or even a quote unquote bad thing. It just is what it is. So I just put the information out there, and yeah. So I definitely meant for this to end and not be so long. So yeah, thank you so much again for tuning in. Oh, and I did want to say, tomorrow I will be on a peace talk episode with the peace dealer. So if you don't already follow him, do go ahead and check him out or follow him or whatnot. He's not only amazing, but I just love the way he's able to discuss these energies, or even just the way he's able to discuss astrology in such a like down to earth and a way that people are able to understand. It's something I definitely envy from people that have earth energy, because I feel like I can be just so like watery and airy. But I digress. All that to say, yeah, I will be on a peace talk with Mike, the peace dealer, tomorrow at 2 p.m. PST. So I will see if I can go ahead and link that scheduled live down below as well into this the description box. So yeah, do feel free to check that out and tune in if you would like to. I'm actually really excited about that, just to talk, because as y'all maybe already perceive, I love to talk. So yeah, that's going to be a great time. So yeah, finally, I hope you guys again have a wonderful day, and until next time, much love and many blessings. Peace.